I would love to know, first of all, where did the journey begin with you in terms of getting into the beauty or aesthetic skin industry?
Yeah, it was definitely getting into this industry was a complete pivot from my last one. I was in IT most of my career. I was even in Afghanistan with top secret clearance, very, very different. But I had my own skin struggles. And during COVID, I actually invented the Jade Applicator really off of something I saw online. And I saw a lady putting on her makeup with a spoon. And I was so inspired that I tried it. And after doing that for a week, I thought, well, why wouldn't you make this out of jade stone? We already know about jade rollers and gua shas. And that's where the journey began. And it was really, it wasn't something I sought out, but it has dramatically improved my own skin. And so it's become now this passion. It just started small and has become a lot larger. Yeah, you can use this for skincare and makeup application, and you can. And it really, if you look at the Jade applicator, it looks very akin to a spoon, but it's the same size as your mascara. It's the same size as your eyeliner. So it was all very intentional. And there were about 5 or 6 3D models that happened to get just the right size because you're right, the size is very intentional. The nice thing about the Jade applicator is that it's able to do a proper lymphatic drainage. So you can get into the corners of the eye. I'll show you the tool. So the tool looks just like this. We have it in a couple of different colors, in a green, hunter green, and in this beautiful white green. And you're able to get right up into the corners. And so we wanted to make sure that the nose properly fit all the curves of our face, and so that it wasn't too big, it wasn't too small. So all very intentionally designed. But yeah, this went through about 5 or 6 iterations before we got to this point. So yeah.
And I love the feeling of it on my skin. Oh my God. It's just so fabulous and so refreshing.
I mean, this isn't an intuitive, device where you think, I'll pick that up and put my makeup on with it. I mean, we're not there yet. So at some point it will be, but at now you don't. But the thing is that we're coupling the benefits of jade with your daily routine. So you're able to depuff the eyes and drain your lymphatic system and enhance your collagen and enhance the circulation of your face, all while you're doing your skincare. So you're actually reducing the time in the restroom and doing, good to your skin. I mean, we're reducing the time dramatically. So about
But
it.
you made a really good point because when I first met you, you clearly said you don't need a lot. And you're right, because I did make the mistake once or twice, and I went, she's right. You don't
Yeah.
need a lot of this. You just need a smidgen of it to really work into your skin. And then if you feel you need to add more, you can add more.
I was talking to my mom earlier. She said, this whole skincare line, because I bought her this skincare line. And she said, this is going to last me an entire year, Jen. I mean, she's just so obsessed. Estheticians have said they save about 30% of the amount of product that they use on their clients. Makeup artists have said that they use about 50% less product. So, I mean, think about the savings for, people in the industry and then your own personal consumption. I mean, it's just the savings is we're wasting so much as a society that we just don't need to.
And even with the sponges, look how many sponges you have to use after all. You cannot use the same sponge over and over. Clearly, you can only use it a couple of times and then you've got to ditch that sponge. It's
Yeah.
even if you wash it over and over again,
Right.
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
No?
So there was a study that was done by Birmingham University in the UK back in 2019. 75 to 91% of beauty blenders have harmful bacteria and 57% have E. coli. And I mention this to people, and a lot of people they go, "Yeah, that sounds about right." Because and we talk, I ask people all the time about what their habits are, and just because I want to understand what's happening in the world. And a lot of people do not wash their brushes and their sponges regularly, and it's just bacteria that you're just caking on your face. And a lot of times we're causing our own problems, or we're trying to cover up this little bit of acne, and we're just creating a monster and not allowing it to heal. So there's just so much harm that's in, even under our nails there's tons of germs. So it's just a much more sanitary solution.
The beauty business is $1 trillion business, right?
Mhm.
All over. People are creating all these brands, and it's so confusing.
Mm.
How do you guide customers and clients to navigate that world and not be so inundated and get so twisted. They're like, oh my God, what do I do? What kind of educational tools?
Yeah.
How do you help them with that?
Well, the nice thing about the Jade applicator is there is no competition, right? I mean, it's brushes, sponges, fingers, jade rollers, and gua shas, if you want to say there's a competitor, but there are no competitors, and we own the patent for this. And so really it's looking for problems to solve. So when we go into med spas, it's talking about the amount of product that they're able to save. And a lot of this is, so if we're talking to makeup artists or if we're talking to med spas, it's what's the elevated experience that you want to give your clients? Why would your clients come back to you? They usually don't come back if it was just sort of an average. You're like, yeah, that was an average thing. No, you want to go above and beyond. So when I go in and I talk to schools about this, we focus on what is the customer there for? Like, why are they coming to you? And it's for an elevated experience. They want to feel luxurious and beautiful and all these things. Plus, they want to save money. And there's just all these things that we're looking for. So if we're coming into the world and problem solving, kind of speaks for itself. And there's so many different ways that you can use the tool. You can apply tattoo balm with it. I mean, there's tattoo makeup artists that are using it. It's just unbelievable how it's starting to come in. But yeah, it's all about problem solving. Yeah.
What was some of the things that you found out was surprising doing your research, doing the journey of putting this together?
I think it's really shocking how much waste there is. And for a society that's become a lot more eco-friendly, right? We have electric vehicles. What I mean, like everything was like, and yet we're still using these brushes. And I know sanitize them with alcohol and all this kind of stuff, but I don't know. I just, between the waste and the reuse and everything, I just feel like we should be further along as a society. I think I'm just shocked at how much waste there is between the gauze and the brushes and the sponges and all the things. And, because makeup artists, they are not going to reuse the blenders, the sponges. They're going to throw those away. And I mean, it's just unbelievable what's going into the landfill. So I think that's been some of the shocking, what I've been a little shocked about is just learning how much waste is going into the environment. Watched a bunch of sugar documentaries. I'm fascinated by sugar and what it does to the body. And we're feeding it to kids like, here, have some Fruit Loops for breakfast. I'm sorry, what?
It
No
breaks
wonder
it.
they have
It
ADHD.
breaks your immune system down. We grew up with fruits all the time. The fruits and fresh juices. And it's so sad. There's so many places in America. Forget about the other parts of the country that don't even have in the world that don't have things. But there are
Yeah.
people like in inner cities that they haven't ever seen an orange tree or haven't ever tasted a fruit.
Yep.
And that's
Yeah.
pretty frightening.
We have a long way looking at the foods that we eat, the products that we put on our face. I mean, if you look at the ingredients, a lot of the products, there's tons of preservatives and just garbage that we're putting on our skin that's actually breaking down our skin. And so, it's how you treat yourself. And on all of the packaging for Ada Cosmetics, it says what you do today impacts tomorrow. And if you take that and you just apply that to everything in your life, yes, what you do today, it's going to impact tomorrow.
When it came to educating
Mhm.
people in the industry and just other folks about the Jade Applicator, were there hesitations at all and comments? And if so, how did you overcome that barrier?
Yeah, looking at, as I mentioned, looking at the applicator, you don't intuitively think, I'm going to put that on my face. And in theory, it sounds great. No more brushes, sponges, fingers. And oh, by the way, we've coupled the benefits of jade. So no more jade rollers and no more gua sha. And they're like, okay, I understand, but I got to see it. So what I found to be the most effective, and I was in a meeting this morning and we were in a conference room and I said, if you will, I put lotion right on my face and I just demoed it right in front. And then I mixed two foundations right on my face and just as quickly as that so that people can see. That's where people are really like drawn into it because in theory it sounds great, but there are people out there selling snake oil, right? And they're like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This is the greatest thing ever. And I'm going to show you. And I believe in this. And I will not stand behind anything because one of the principles of this company and who I am as a person is integrity. And if I can't stand behind it, if I don't believe in something, I'm not going to be out there repping it. I'm not going to talk about it. And so I will shout from the rooftop and I will use it on myself. I do use it on myself. And so that to me is where I have to show people. I cannot just tell them. I can't just show them a picture of it. They have to see it in action for them to
Yeah.
really believe it.
Tell everybody where to find it, how to get it, what they need to know, your social media platforms, everything everybody needs to know to find out about Jade application.
So the company is Ada Cosmetics. That is ATA Cosmetics. So you can go to adacosmetics.com. On Instagram, it's ata.cosmetics. We have a little TikTok page. There's a lot of content that's out there. So just Ada Cosmetics. And my last name is Sugermeyer. That'll also take you to any of the sources. That's sugar with an E. I'm the only one that's out there. So Ada Cosmetics, Jen Sugermeyer, you'll find us. And yeah, we're coming. We're coming for the whole industry. We want people to use this product. I don't want anybody to buy a product and have it just sit there and not understand. We have a lot of content that's out there, and we're also happy to take the time to just to help get that education out there because we want to impact people's lives. That's what this is all about.